Yes, guys. So we were discussing about the software development life cycle. We were discussing about the phases involved in the software development life cycle. So we have discussed that our first step will be the preliminary investigation or planning. Next step is to analyze. Like we will ask questions. What will be the what will be the work we have to perform, who will perform that particular work, how we will perform that particular work. There is a basically one step also available in between first and second step, which we have discussed, which was feasibility analysis, feasibility study, right? So step number one will be planning, step number two will be feasibility analysis, step number three will be analysis simply, step number fourth will be designing. Now next step will be implementation of that particular design document which we have discussed in our last 5 minutes. Next step will be testing. We will test the the system which is developed by the developer, by providing various test cases, so if there is any, if there is any mistakes or if there is any exceptions in the testing and integration phase, what we will do, we will again forward that particular document, we will again forward that particular system to the developer, and we will tell the developer that these are the problems which we are these are the problems which we are facing. Like if I am providing that particular test case, what is the meaning of test case, we will discuss. Like test case are the basically conditions, so we will pass our program, to these conditions, so and check whether our developed program can work on these test cases very correctly. If it is yes, or then we will follow up on next step, which is the maintenance step, right? So in maintenance, what we will do, we will check and we will provide guidelines. We will check what is the result. We will check what is the result of my developed system, whether it is used by the client or not, if it is not, then we will again move to the planning step. We will check what are the problems, right? So if there is any test cases failed, we will again forward the system to the implementation part, or we can say that we will forward all those test cases or all those conditions in which our system is failing to the developer, so that developer can make changes in our system, right? So this is basically about the steps involved. These are the steps basically involved in our uh, system development life cycle. In order to develop a particular system, it is must that we should follow all these steps in order to develop a particular system very efficiently and very effectively. Efficiently means on time, and efficiency means with the help of current resources, right? So what we have discussed these two topics only, right? So just a second. Yes, guys. So we were moving forward to our next topic, which is different life cycle models. So basically, before going to the different types of life cycle models, what we will do, we will first understand what is the meaning of life cycle models. What is the meaning of life cycle model? So life cycle models basically refers to a framework. Framework is nothing but it is the extension of a particular thing, right? So it includes multiple very different kinds of frameworks which provides structure, or we can say that which provide the plan to control the process of developing a particular system, right? So these life cycle models are basically responsible for developing a system very efficiently. By how? Because it already provides us a plan. We don't have to make a plan. These life cycle models provides us the plan which we have to follow in order to make a particular system, right? So basically in our organization, it is not compulsory that it is not compulsory It is not compulsory that each and every organization should follow that particular life cycle model only, because we have different kinds of different kinds of life cycle models, and according to the system, according to the organization, we can adapt that, we can adapt life cycle models, right? So it is not compulsory that each and every organization use that particular life cycle model. But if I talk about one single particular organization also, so the life cycle models can be changed in one particular organization also. Life cycle models can be changed. Now how it can be changed, just uh, just take a reference of this idea, right? So if I have organization A, okay, now this organization is working on several projects, project 1, project 2, and project 3. So it is not necessary that all the projects which is operated by the organization A should follow the same life cycle model. It depends on basically the project. It depends on basically the project, that which kind of life cycle model we have to follow, right? So life cycle model is provides the plan. It provides us the plan. So plan can be different, right? Plan can be different for each and every project. Like we will discuss about this. So if I take the example, for example, you B came to this organization. B came to this organization and he asked A to develop a particular system in 10 days. In 10 days basically. So we have different system, which we have different life cycle model called RAD, rapid application development. Rapid applications development. So in this situation where client need to build a particular product in short term period, so what we will do, we will follow this rapid application development. So rapid application development provides us the plan how we can develop our system in 10 days or in a very short term period, right? Now if C comes to A, if C comes to A and he asked A that I have to develop my system in 2 months. So we will follow another life cycle model called as agile. We can say that agile development. Just a minute. So we have another life cycle model called agile system development life cycle model. So agile is another very important life cycle model if I talk about the practical perspective, if I talk about the industry perspective. So agile is basically, what is agile, what is DevOps, what is waterfall model, we will discuss in this chapter only. Okay, so I think you got a little bit idea about what is the meaning of life cycle models and how life cycle models can be changed can be changed by that particular organization according to the projects, right? So we have basically different kinds of life cycle model. First life cycle model which came into the existence is waterfall model. Waterfall model, what is the meaning of waterfall model? Like as I have said that all the life cycle models provides us a plan. So waterfall model says that you should follow you should you should follow all the defined steps. Now what are the steps in this waterfall model says that first you have to achieve first you have to do preliminary investigation, like initial investigation, or we can say that initial planning. And after planning you should go to this analysis phase, or after analysis you should go to this just a second, designing phase. And after designing phase you go to the implementation phase, and after implementation you go to testing phase. After testing phase you go to the maintenance phase, right? So now what is the difference if I talk about? So waterfall model provides a rigid structure. It provides a rigid structure that if all the steps is basically dependent on the step which is previous to it. Okay, so we cannot do analysis if my first step is not completed yet. I cannot do testing. I cannot do testing if it is not implemented yet, right? It provides a rigid architecture. Means, for example, what is my meaning? That if I completed this step, and if I'm currently on analysis phase, and as we have discussed in analysis, feasibility analysis, that the idea can be changed. The idea can be changed if I cannot get the particular solution. So what is the disadvantage, right? Like if I have done this phase and currently I'm on this phase, so I cannot go to this. I cannot go to this again. I cannot go to this again. So it is a rigid architecture. So अगर मैं फोर्थ स्टेप पर पहुंच चुका हूं और अगर बाद में मुझे पता लगा कि मेरी डिजाइनिंग में कुछ दिक्कत है, तो मैं वापस नहीं जा सकता. आप वापस नहीं जा सकते. It is basically the disadvantage of this. It is basically the disadvantage of this particular architecture. So I'm not just highlighting the disadvantages. What is the advantages? Some advantages of this particular system is that it provides orderly sequence. It provides orderly sequence to our organization. All right. So after providing the orderly sequence, what we can do, we can conserve resources according to the need. Conserve resources according to the need. Okay. So these are some advantages which I am writing on the right side of the screen. So basically, because this model come into the existence at first, that's why this model does not have any more advantages. This model does not have any more advantages, right? So this model does not have any more advantages. So but we have we have many more disadvantages. Like I have said that just a second. Like I have said that it provides a rigid structure. We cannot go back to the previous step. We cannot go back to the previous step if I am following this, right? If I am following this. Now, what is the meaning of developing this particular system? If it has more disadvantages than advantages. So this system basically is very much suitable for the less experienced project teams. Is very much suitable for less experienced project teams as well as less experienced project managers, right? And I was talking about the disadvantage. So disadvantage is basically that slow. It is very slow. It is very slow. How it is very slow? Because we cannot start multiple steps parallelly. We cannot start multiple steps parallelly. For example, if developer is done work of module 1, now we cannot do testing on module 1 because there are many modules available which is not implemented yet. So when I will do testing when all the modules are implemented by the developer, and then all the modules will be sent to this testing part. So I cannot do multiple tasks parallelly, right? So this is a disadvantage, that this particular model is very slow, right? So this is very slow model. This is inflexible, as I have said. It is rigid in nature. It is inflexible. मतलब कि changeable नहीं है, right? तो अगर हम आगे इसकी बात करें कि और हमारे पास में क्या डिसएडवांटेजेस बेसिकली ये है कि यहाँ पर क्लाइंट के साथ में इंटरेक्शन जो होता है, लेस इंटरेक्शन विद क्लाइंट. लेस इंटरेक्शन विद क्लाइंट. अगर मैं इस पर्टिकुलर मॉडल को फॉलो कर रहा हूं तो क्लाइंट के साथ में बेसिकली मेरी जो इंटरेक्शन होगा वो बहुत कम होगा. और एक और मैं डिसएडवांटेज क्या बोलूं कि problems in the system is not discovered. Problems in the system is not discovered until system testing, right? तो जब तक मैं टेस्ट नहीं करूंगा तब तक मेरे को प्रॉब्लम्स पता नहीं लगेगी. ओके, तब तक मुझे प्रॉब्लम्स कोई भी पता नहीं लगेगी. मैं जस्ट करता जाऊंगा, मेरे जो भी माइंड में आ रहा है मैं वो चीज करता जाऊंगा. ओके, so problem is not system, problems in the system is not be discovered until the system testing. Okay, so these are basically the some disadvantages and advantages we have discussed. So मैं less interaction with client को क्या बोल सकता हूँ, it increases the gap between client and the organization. Okay, so these are some various disadvantages of waterfall model. These are basically some disadvantages of waterfall model. What we have discussed so far, that the waterfall model provides us a plan. What plan that it provides us with some sequence of steps, some rigid sequence of steps which we cannot be able to change. So this is all about the waterfall model. Let's move to our next model, which is